Yeah, whatever you say, but I cannot promise to keep my shirt on. Oh. Hey, everybody. Here I am, the multi-voice reviewer. I have many voices, but one opinion. And today, my review is going to be very Disney-based. Because, believe it or not, folks, the movie I have for today for this review is none other than Ralph Breaks the Internet. I got this on Blu-ray. Since I did Wreck-It Ralph last March 6th. Wait a minute. I didn't review it. Oh yeah, Dracula did. That's right. I wonder if he wants to do it again. Hey, Dracula, do you want to do a review of Ralph Breaks the Internet? Sorry, but no. Okay, wait, what do you mean no? You reviewed the first movie? Precisely. You see, I reviewed Wreck-It Ralph is because I know what it feels like to be a video game villain because of Castlevania. But since I reviewed Wreck-It Ralph, I'm a little bit occupied on this. Castlevania, the animated series. I got this on Blu-ray, and I'm waiting to get Castlevania Season 2 and waiting for Season 3 to come out so I can get it. And I will do a review of the animated series of Castlevania soon. Anyway, Wreck-It Ralph, it's more internet-based, so it's all yours. This is Dracula, saying goodbye. Oh, wait. Before you go, I want you to say that oath that they did in the Wreck-It Ralph movie. Time for you to say the oath before you leave. Okay. One for the road. I am bad, but that is good. I'll never be good, and that's not bad. There's no one I'd rather be than me. Well, off I go. And what's the deal with your shirt, multi-voice reviewer? Yeah, that. I couldn't find my Game Insane shirt, so I had to find any kind of shirt I can find that my mom gave me, and I found this Pizza Planet shirt. Well, it's the first time I ever saw you wear pink. Well, I don't like pink. Makes me feel kinda feminine. Indeed. Well, this is Dracula telling you all, so long. Well, he's out. I wonder if Mr. Death would be interested. Yo, Mr. Death, how about a review on Ralph Breaks the Internet? Huh? What do you think?
Hi, multi-voice. Anyway, I think Final Destination is overrated.
What? Again about Final Destination? You need to forget about it.
I'm sorry, but I just can't get Final Destination out of my head.
You forget about Final Destination?
I'll try. Anyway, I'm not gonna review your movie. It's all yours. Goodbye.
As usual, I have to do everything myself. Sorry about that, folks. Gee, Dracula only reviewed the first one, but not the sequel. Well, since it is internet-based and I am a YouTuber, so let's get to this movie, shall we? As usual. Now, one thing about this, it had the original cast. You have John C. Reilly playing Ralph, Sarah Silverman as well, Jack McBriar as Fix-It Felix, Jane Lynch as Sergeant Calhoun, Sarah Silverman as Vanellope, but also they have some new characters. Now, in the first movie, Alan Tudyk did the voice. Alan Tudyk did the voice of the villain in the first movie. For those of you who haven't seen Dracula's review of this, I'll put a link in the bottom so you know what I'm talking about. But Alan Tudyk returned again, not playing a villain this time, but played this character right here. He's playing Knowsmore. He calls himself Knowsmore. He's like the internet version of Google. You know, every time when you're trying to type down things and a bunch of words pops up when you're trying to finish the whole sentence, he's like that. Now, the rest of the cast is new. Now, those I don't have pictures of due to time, but of course, Mr. Litwick is played by Ed O'Neill in this movie, just like the first one. But of course, you have Bill Hader doing the voice of J.P. Spamley, right here. He's supposed to be one of those pop-up characters, you know, popping up these ads so people can click on it. He's a spam. And you also have the only villain it shows in this movie is this guy. He is called Double Dan, but he's only there for a short while. But he's not the main villain there because this movie doesn't have any main villains this time. And of course, Double Dan is played by Alfred Molina. You know, the one who plays the Hispanic guy in the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark. I know he appears in a lot of movies, but I just can't think of the particular one. And of course, you also have Arthur, the virus who's in this movie, voiced by John DiMaggio. No relation to Joe DiMaggio, so. But anyway, the rest of the cast, I do have printed out pictures. And throughout this entire story, you see, Vanellope's game called Sugar Rush, Ralph made a new level for the game, and she starts enjoying it, but here's a problem. The steering wheel in the game gets shattered. So, the owner decided to get a new one, but sadly, you can't get these things anymore because they stopped making them. But one kid found it on eBay. So, he bought himself a Wi-Fi box and hooked himself online. And Ralph and Penelope, they decided to go into the Wi-Fi world. And a lot of dismal things starts happening. And there's a lot of cameos and spin-offs and such. I see Buzz Lightyear in this movie with Tim Allen saying, "Buzz Lightyear to the rescue!" And of course, they also have Van Diesel doing the voice of Baby Groot. When one of the characters was asking him any questions, he always keeps saying, "I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot." And of course, they went to eBay and they finally found the steering wheel and they really auctioned the thing off. But here's the thing, Ralph and Vanellope don't have any money. So they given them a certain limit to buy it or else they're going to ship it somewhere else. So they had to find a place and they found Spamley with his clickbait called Getting Rich Playing Games, which is a scam. But he welcomed them into a world that Vanellope couldn't imagine that they made. They made Slaughter Race. That's right, Slaughter Race. And it's like a very dangerous racing game that Vanellope seems to be very comfortable being in it, because she seems to love it, because it's very extreme and different. But, Ralph, he's all like, this game's pretty dangerous, and not exactly safe. Every time I try to do John C. Reilly, I always come out sounding like Seth Rogen.
Hi, guys. Wanna join me in my place and get toked?
But anyway, they meet this girl. They meet this girl here who owns Slaughter Race. And I recognize her voice because, believe it or not, it's voiced by the lovely and irreplaceable Gal Gadot. Because I recognize her Israeli accent anywhere. And Ralph and Vanellope was about ready to steal her car, but she said that this is not the way to do it. Here's a better way. Go to BuzzTube, which they're not using YouTube, they're using BuzzTube. Must be some legal purpose or something. And of course, in the back, the girl and her friends decided to do a funny video, and it got a lot of likes. And they went all the way to BuzzTube to get a lot of these hearts. And little do they know, they meet this girl who owns BuzzTube. Her name is Yes, and she is played by another lovely actress, Tyra G. Henson. She did the voice of Yes. And I like her. I mean, I've seen her in other movies and shows. She is funny, she is pretty, she's really very attractive. And she's a really great actress. Heck, I saw her before she became famous, and it was, I saw her on CSI, Las Vegas. She became a victim. She plays a victim and wondering what happened to her. And that was the first time I saw her before she became famous. One thing about CSI, they always bring a lot of people who are either famous or before became famous. By the way, this girl here, she is voiced by the famous YouTuber Ozell Green, who does the voice of Little Debbie, who is the best friend to the main girl on Slaughter Race. And of course, there are a couple of YouTubers who makes appearance, well, not exactly appearance, but doing the voice in the movie. Like, Arlene Bellinger played herself going online until all this stuff was taken away online. Some of you probably remember her as Miranda Sings. I've seen her videos. She's really funny, and she's a pretty good singer. And also, there is also another character who's a YouTuber, and it is Tiffany Hurihara, who plays a character named Tiffany, who is playing a video game online with another guy trying to get that car from Slaughter Race. Now, Yes here tells Ralph and Vanellope that they should make like a clickbait for Ralph's videos to get more loves so he can make more money in order to buy the steering wheel. Now, Vanellope wanted to help out because she feels so helpless, so she decided to help out, but Ralph didn't want her to go back to Slaughter Race, so he took her to Disney, to the Disney website. Now, as you can see, all the Disney princesses, they are all in this movie, and believe it or not, the actresses who did the voice are in it. Well, some of them went old and passed away, and others probably retired or too old to do voices, so they had them replaced. But I'm going to go through the princesses one by one. Ready? Here we go. Yeah, one more thing I forgot to mention. One thing I really did like, when Vanellope went to the Disney Princess world, now, I remember there was a lot of things online from Disney.com, like there is, which Disney princess are you? Now, some of you are going to be asking me, what kind of Disney character am I? Well, when it comes to Marvel, I'm sort of in between Professor Charles Xavier and Star-Lord. But if you want to go for, Disney cartoons, I always kind of think of myself as Genie from the Aladdin. You want to know why, Genie?
Because you ain't never had a friend like me. Ha!
God, I miss Robin Williams. I know everybody else does. Anyway, I always have the same personality like the Genie. Cause
you ain't never had a friend, never had a friend. You ain't never had a friend, never had a friend. You ain't never had a friend like me. Wah! Wah! You ain't never had a friend like me. Ha!
But anyway, get to the Disney princesses now. So, pretty much, here we go. Snow White was voiced by this actress, Pamela Ribbon. Now, she did a pretty good job. Now, one thing I did remember on Disney history is this. Atrina Kaslani, the real actress who did the voice of Snow White in the Disney cartoon, now, there was a huge problem in history with her. Before she did the voice of Snow White, Walt Disney gives her a contract. Well, she will never do any other voices ever again. So she's stuck as Snow White. Damn. I mean, I heard about being typecast, but signing a contract to be typecast for life? That's horrible. And one thing I have heard about her is she did a couple of things, but she didn't get any credit for it. There always had to be dark sides in Disney history. Anyway, moving right along. Cinderella is voiced by the lovely Jennifer Hall. Now, for those of you who don't know who Jennifer Hall is, well, she did the voice of my number one favorite sci-fi role-playing video game of all time, Mass Effect. She played Female Shepard. And she also did a lot of voices for all the video games and anime. So, I have to say, she's quite a legend in the studio. The voice of Ariana is Kate Higgins. She replaced the original actress who did the voice of Ariana, although I always thought that character didn't have much of a line herself. But the voice actresses who did the voice of Disney princesses back in the 80s, 90s, and the year 2000s, they're still around and they reprise their role. So let's get to those now. Judy Benson, who did the voice of Ariel from The Little Mermaid, surprised her role. Paige O'Hara, who does the voice of Belle, she reprised her role. And I always like Beauty and the Beast, because sometimes I always kind of think of myself as the Beast and nobody doesn't like me because the way I am. Or is it because my facial hair makes me look more beast-like? Who knows? Linda Larkin doing the voice of Jasmine from Aladdin. Now, I was surprised that she did the voice of Jasmine, because isn't Jasmine supposed to be Arab? I mean, what? They can't find an Arab voice actress to do the voice of Jasmine? It's a sorry world we're living in, you know? But at least I'm pretty happy to the next one that's coming up. Irene Bedard did the voice of Pocahontas. Now, that's I'm okay with. I mean, they have a real Native American girl doing the voice of one of the Native American treasure. Although, here's a big problem. I mean, I seen Pocahontas. It was a good movie. But, being part Native American, I can accept that. I mean, I'm part Cherokee. Believe it or not, I mean, I am part Cherokee on my grandma's side of the family. But anyway, one thing I do have a problem with Pocahontas, I'm also a huge history nut. And I think that Disney movie, it's a huge middle finger to the real history of Pocahontas. And that's all I'm saying, okay? But I'm okay with her doing the voice of Pocahontas. At least they have a real Native American doing the voice. Oh, coming up is my number one favorite of all. Most irreplaceable and very beautiful and very hot Asian Chinese actress I ever knew, Ming-Na playing Mulan. Now, I'm looking forward to see this live-action Mulan movie and see if it's okay. Although I heard a lot of people saying that it's a huge flop, but I don't listen to reviews unless I say something about it. But for now, but one thing I do have a problem. Why don't they have her playing Mulan's father in the movie, for crying out loud? I mean, if they have her playing Mulan's mother, have her plays Mulan's mother, it's like patching a torch. But they missed that opportunity. Jackasses. And here's one thing I do have. She's also a better Chun-Li in this movie of Street Fighter than this version of Street Fighter. I just think this was a huge failure and they picked the wrong actress to play Chun-Li. I mean, Min Chong-wen was a better Chun-Li than the actress from Smallville. Sorry, I had to get that out. Anyway, moving right along. Former diva, now become actress, the lovely Mandy Moore doing the voice of Rapunzel. So she's reprising her role from the movie Tangle. Annika Noni Rose reprising her role as Tina from the Princess and the Frog, the first black Disney princess in history. Kelly MacDonald doing the voice of Miranda from Brave. Perfect choice. I mean, her last name is MacDonald, so that's a good old Scottish name, eh? I have to say, at least they have an actress who has a good Scottish name and even plays out the whole Scottish accent, eh? And of course, one thing I also heard, that her character was supposed to be the first Pixar Disney princess than the original princess. That's why Princess Vanellope couldn't even understand her thick Scottish accent. Sorry, it's the Scotch-Irish within me. I'm also part Scottish and part Irish. And also Romania. That's why I am friends with Count Dracula. Well, now you know my background. And I'm also part German. That's where Grimm came from. I'm still wondering if I'm still related to the Brothers Grimm, the one who written all those fairy tales, who are from Germany. Anyway, moving right along. Christine Bell playing Anna from Frozen. Yeah, I know. I forgot to print out Christine Bell, so I just grabbed this Veronica Mars DVD I have. I only have the first season. I haven't watched the rest of the Veronica Mars series. Although, I have to say, the series do have a good mystery potential. But anyway, coming up next is the main one from Frozen. Idina Menzel doing the voice of Elsa from Frozen. She reprised her role as well. Now, I like Idina Menzel. I mean, I saw her performance in that Broadway musical, The Wicked, and her performance as Elphaba, the Wicked Witch, she surprised me. I mean, she's a really dang good singer and a very lovely lady, and a good voice actress, too. But don't get me started on Let It Go. I can't stand that song. I mean, I swear, if I hear Let It Go one more time, my head will explode. No, seriously, literally, my head will explode because I have an explosive device planted in the back of my head, so anytime if I hear that song, boom. No more multi-voice reviewer. Anyway, moving right along, folks. Last but not least, the one from Hawaii. Julie Karabalu from Moana. Yeah, she surprised her role doing the voice of Moana. the first Hawaiian Disney princess, which I think it's about time that they should have some Hawaiian characters who are Disney princesses. Anyway, throughout the whole story, Fix-It Felix and Sergeant Calhoun decided to adopt these other characters from Sugar Rush. And since they finally got enough hearts, they'll be able to buy the new steering wheel for Sugar Rush. But sadly, Vanellope feels more comfortable being in Slaughter Race, and Ralph doesn't like that. You see, he's the type of guy who doesn't like change. Now, I know how that feels. Sometimes I really hate it when some people decided to change and go on doing something else instead of staying in one spot. But sometimes you have to learn to let them go. Sometimes. Well, actually, you always need to learn to let them go because they chose their destiny. But Ralph, being really selfish, he asked Spanley to take him to the underground side of the dark web of the internet. The dark web, the most spooky and creepy internet side where you never should go to, because every time when you go to the dark web, things would be very unpleasant if you shop at the dark web. Sorry, I just love imitating Chills because he has such a creepy voice that I just like to imitate him. Very creepy, isn't it? But anyway, Ralph met Double Dan and brought that virus. And he also copied the glitches ability from Vanellope, and now Slaughter Race is now becoming a glitchy game. But sadly, the virus got to Ralph, and he copied Ralph and his need for friends, and now they become a huge Ralph until Ralph discovered that he needs to let go, so they separate, and the virus is gone. So, once again, Ralph and Vanellope save the internet world now. And of course, with the help of the Disney princesses, they help Ralph because he was falling. I mean, Spamley tried to have this vehicle to help soften his blow when he fell, but he fell right through because he's heavy. So the Disney princesses call it the animals and everybody to save Ralph before he goes to his end. You know, it's not often that you see Disney princesses saving a guy. I mean, because most Disney princesses, they always be the damsel. But now it's their time to save someone by using their abilities. And of course, I always like seeing those Disney princesses in their casual attire. Heck, I really love seeing Mulan in her casual sport jacket with black jeans and those red sneakers and white shirt. Even in casual clothing, she still looks great. And one thing I have to say, this have a lot of Disney crossovers than my Kingdom Heart games. Oh, yeah. Speaking of Kingdom Heart games, now I'm still waiting for me to get myself a PS2 for me to play Kingdom Heart 3. But one thing I heard, they decided not to have the DC universe and the Star Wars universe not to be in it, but they let Big Hero 6. Now, excuse me for going off topic, but I have a huge problem with Big Hero 6. You see, my problem with Big Hero 6 is this. According to my Marvel X-Men encyclopedia, Big Hero 6 were actually huge. They're Japanese mutants. Big Hero 6 are supposed to be Japanese X-Men, in a way. And of course, it's led by this character that they got rid of, Sunfire, a Japanese mutant who has the ability of summoning fire flame that's hotter than the sun, and also Silver Samurai is in it. He's a mutant who can grab any swords and make them way powerful that they can cut through any metal. But ever since the Disney owned the Marvel Universe, they decided to make Big Hero 6 and forget about the mutant stuff. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, heck. Here was the original comic book of Big Hero 6 involving the mutants. And even Wolverine joined them for a while until he went back to America. Here are the original Big Hero 6 right here, along with Sunfire and Silver Samurai. But now, no thanks to MCU, they have the audacity to make an MCU version, and now an animated series. And that is my only meaningless fanboy gripes about Big Hero 6. Big Hero 6 sucks. Well, this is Multi-Voice Reviewer telling you all, if you guys enjoyed this Ralph Breaks the Internet review, please leave a comment down below, hit like, and subscribe for more reviews, and I think I got some more Disney stuff to review. So, and the only one I think I'm going to review is this.
To infinity and beyond!
Hey, I'm also thinking, since DC is going to do a crossover with Marvel, does that mean I have my chance to put the moves on Harley Quinn? Deadpool! What?